Welcome back to another episode of Messy But Motivated with Melinda, where we embrace the messy as long as you stay motivated. I think that's our line. I don't know. Anyways, how's it going, guys? How's it going? Whew. That was a long weekend. Labor Day weekend's always, it's a lot. We have our family reunion every day, Labor Day weekend, so it's always a lot for us. Even though I didn't go last year. I don't know. I've had this real turning point in my life ever since I've had my come to Jesus moment. I really used to hate, oh my gosh, I'm sure you guys can relate. I used to hate going to family reunions. I dreaded it. My mom would be like, it's time. I'd be like, Mom, I'm not going this year. Or Mom, I'm going to go, but I'm going for an hour. And then now I'm like, oh my gosh, time is so precious. You can give your family 6 hours of your time, one day a year. Calm down, Melinda. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun. We did. We had a lot of fun. It was really weird. Usually I don't have fun at those. I'm usually like, ugh. But I just really loved hanging out with my family. I really did. I'm not just making that up. I know, it's weird. I just like hanging out with my family. We all, listen, we just make each other laugh. Me and my sister especially, we're always making each other laugh. That girl, she tries to be mad at me, you guys. It is so freaking funny. My sister tries to get mad at me, because I'll say something inappropriate that I shouldn't have said to my mom, just because I don't have a filter sometimes, and sometimes what I think, it just comes out. And my sister will try to get really mad at me, and she'll be like, and then I'll say, and then she knows I don't react well to that, so then she's like, you need to stop. And then I'm like, oh, all right. It's the worst. She knows how to do it with me though. It's okay. I'm a mess. I don't know. I can't help it. Sometimes you guys think I'm kidding. I have no filter. My sister, I want to give you guys an example of how I have no filter, none at all. It's so hard for me. I have to be like, you better be on your best behavior. My sister was going on a vacation. Okay. And it was around that time when all the planes were going down or whatever. And I was like, okay, give me a hug. And I'm telling her family, I'm like, give me a hug. I'm not going to see you guys for a while. And I was like, I just really hope that your plane doesn't go down, because there's been a lot of planes go down. Her kids look at me and they're like, what? What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. I just don't have a filter. It was just a thought in my head and it came out. So yeah, that's the kind of filter I mean. The other day, I just don't have filters. I just don't. Listen, I'm a work in progress, okay? I've been asking. I pray and I'm like, please make me more easier to, I don't know what I really pray for. I'm just like, please make it so I don't annoy people, because my mom sometimes, she wants to punch me in my face. I'm like, I don't know. You gave birth to me. I don't know. Okay. Let's get to our topic today. Let's do it. I've enough messing around. Grow up. Today we're going to talk about connections. And I know you're like, what the heck are you talking about? If you see my bunny running around here, you guys, he just walked in. Okay. I'm in his domain. He's like, listen, girl, I don't know what you're talking about, but you got snacks? Anyways, we're going to talk about connections. What I mean by that is I have always been the girl that's like, I don't need no new friends. I got enough friends. I don't have enough time for friends. I don't. And they say when you go to church, there's the message might be for you. The very first time I decided to step foot in the church, the very first sermon that he did was how people put up walls and they lose these valuable connections because they already put a wall up saying, I don't want any new friends. They don't even open themselves up to creating new friendships or new connections. And it hit me so hard. I looked at my husband and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I am that person, you guys. I am the girl that's like, I don't need any more friends. Why do I need friends? I got two friends. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this right now. But I don't think they would care because this is life. And my friends are going through, the two best friends that I have are going through, it's like a breakup. It's a breakup. And it's hard for me because I don't know if you guys know this, but one is my sister-in-law and then one's just been my best friend since we were in freshman high school. And we've always been like the three. So now that this is like a breakup between them two, I'm still like in the middle and I see both sides. And it's so hard for me because I love them both so much and I understand both sides. And it's just like, I don't know. The only thing that I pray for is this is just a season. This is just a season. And they can't be friends during this season because I do believe that some people are meant to be your friend during a season of your life. And it's okay for them to not be in that other season, but maybe come back in a different season. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And I'm going to go on from this and say why I mean that or why I believe that. It's like, and I'm not going to give up what's going on between them, but sometimes in life, you need that person that you can have fun with and that's going to make you laugh all the time and going to do this and go through school with you. And I'm just saying like that was their connection for so long. And cuz they went through nursing school together. They did all this together. Like they have been, and then there comes a time where somebody's like this and the other person, maybe their faith is not going as high as yours. They're comfortable right here. And then this person up here is looking down at them saying, hold on, I want you to come up here with me. But that person's saying, but I'm comfortable right here. Why do I need to go up there? I'm comfortable right here with my life. So why do you want me up there? You can keep going, friend, and I'll be right here beside you, but like down here waving and cheering you on. But I don't need to go up there. I'm fine where I'm at. I'm comfortable here. And that's life. That is life. And I've learned this. I have sat back so many times and I've looked at people that I'm like, God, I just want you to, you have so much potential. You have so much potential. And that's okay. But then guess what? They don't want to. And that's on them. You can't force somebody to go up with you. You cannot. But it doesn't mean you have to stop being their friend. It doesn't mean you have to stop loving them. This is maybe the spot where I keep going and you just have to watch. And maybe our connection isn't as close anymore. And I think that's just life. I don't think there's ever going to be a time that their connection isn't there. I think it's always going to be there because they've had such an amazing friendship. I think that it's going to catch up one day. Just right now, I think there's a gap, and I pray that one day they just make up. And that is where this comes in. I have had this wall up for so long, and many of you know my friend Anna. I met her through another friend. She owns Blush Salon. I'm going to have her on the podcast soon. And when I first met her, I instantly felt a friendship with her. Like, I was just like, oh my God. And she really reminds me of Liz, her energy. They're just like, both like, oh, let's, just And I found so, like, every time I see her, she's just so motivating. She's all like, let's do this, let's do that. She's just ready to go, you guys. She's built her business from the ground up and she is ready to go. And she's never stopping with just, she knows enough. No, this girl, like today, she's at a public speaking event, like learning how to public speak. I don't even know who she's going to talk to, but she wants to learn. So whatever, you go, girl. And I just put a wall up with her and I'm like, okay, got to keep her at a distance. I love her. I introduced her to my family and everything, but I'm like, guys, don't get too close to her because I got to keep her over there because I don't have time for new friends. And then I don't know what it was. I think it was just her understanding me and me understanding her. she understood my boundaries. And that was where I was really like, oh my God, thank God. She wasn't mad at me for not texting back right away. She wasn't mad at me for not calling back or not answering her phone calls. She was really understanding when I was just like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do that because Chloe has soccer. I'm not going to be, she understood those things. And that means a lot to me because I don't want to make excuses up for my friends. Oh, I do not want to make it. But you know what? I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to tell you, hey, we're not going to make it tonight because Mike's staying late at work I feel like I have to, and I don't want to do that. So with her, I feel so comfortable that I could just be like, hey, I don't want to do it. And she's like, okay, don't then. It's fine. I don't care. And I think once I started realizing she's meeting me where I am and she's not judging me or any of that, then I was like, okay, you can let her in. You can let her in. There's no reason to not let her in. Like, you're the one who built this wall. There's no reason to have a wall up with her. And now I find myself really starting to have a connection with her as she's a great friend. She is such a great friend. Like, and she came when I least expected it. You know what I mean? She came when I least expected it. Like, I didn't ever think I was going to make real connections with friends again. Like, because I've valued me and Liz and me and Kelly's friendship so much that I'm like, I don't think anybody could ever. Now, I will tell you, and this is still like really hard for me. This feels so weird to even say, but I'll just tell you. I always feel like somebody's talking behind my back. And I don't know why I feel that way. I do not know. And maybe it's because I was the girl that was always talking behind people's backs, And so I feel like sometimes I'm just like, do you think she's talking behind my back? You know what I mean? And that thought goes through my mind. And then I'm like, why do you even think that? Like, what does she have to say about you? And you've never given her anything to say bad about you. And then it's like, well, do you talk about her behind her back? No, you don't. So why would she talk about you behind your back? But then I'm like, well, other people don't think the way that I think. And I want to be clear here. There's a difference between talking behind somebody's back and venting to a friend, because I am one to vent. Like, if I have something to get off my chest, like if me and Kelly get in an argument or me and Anna get in an argument or anything like that, I will go to another friend. And I think those are why those friends are there. But lately I have been talking to God. So this isn't like up-to-date information that I'm giving you, but I will be like, man, I was just so pissed. And then I like to hear their perspective. Am I being the asshole? Or like, was that rude? Because I want to hear, like, do you think it? But I always say, this is between me and them. Like, I don't want you to put any judgment up against what I'm about to tell you. Like, just be a friend right now. And I have great friends that they can do that. They're like, okay, hey, she's just confiding in me. I'm her best friend. Like, and they give me their opinions. And sometimes I'm in the wrong, y'all. I've come to my sister before and I've been like, do you think that, like, this is what happened? And then I'll be like, do you think that was wrong with me? And she's like, yeah, that was rude. And I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, I need to apologize. So I do go confide in people. I just make sure I know who I'm confiding in. You can't go confide in somebody who you know is going to run behind and be like, hey, she was over and she was saying that she did this and really, no, you were just wanting their opinion on things. You have to be so careful. And I've learned that the hard way. You really have to know who you're confiding in. And I am lucky enough to have a handful of people that I can say, hey, off the record, I wanted to talk and I just feel like I need to get this off my chest. And I want your opinion on it. Because sometimes I'm in the wrong. I'm a human being. And honestly, I stick my foot in my mouth so many times, you guys, that I'm just like, why would I even say that? And then I feel so bad for even saying that. But then I'm like, now it's like, how do I get myself out of this? And it's good to go to a friend and be like, hey, like, what would you do? Or, hey, now what? Now what do I do? Because then you don't feel so alone, because there's so many times I've had to go to my husband. I'm like, hey, I screwed up. Like, what now? And he's like, ugh. I'm like, I know, I don't know. So and he don't know, so it's good to go to a friend or have friends that you can go to and be like, hey, now what? So that's been great. But for me putting down that wall, now me and her have really became good friends. She's younger than me. She's in her 20s. And so you guys, I have more friends in 20s, in 50s, 60s than I do in my own age group. I don't know what it is. Everybody says I'm an old soul, but also I get along with 20-year-olds like really well. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of like everywhere. I'm all over the board. I always say friendship has no age restrictions, no age restrictions at all. I hate when people are like, oh, but I would love to be your friend, but I'm 54. What do you mean? We can't be friends because you're 54? You're going to give me some of the best advice ever. What do you mean? Like, you've been through it. I want to hear. And you have great stories. I want to hear your stories, okay? I'm all ears, okay? But yeah, if you have the chance to be friends with somebody that's older or younger and you're like putting a wall up because you're like, I don't know, I just can't be their friend because they're older or they're in their 20s and they're just now figuring out life. I mean, maybe that person needs you. Because I think I've given great advice to Anna, and she comes to me for advice too. And I really I like that. Like, I feel so good when she calls me and she's like, hey, I need your opinion on something. And, it'll be about her business. Now, I don't even have a business like her. She has a bunch of employees, but she'll ask my input put on it. And I'm like, dang, she values my opinion. So just never put that wall up thinking, I don't want to make any more friends, because you guys, it is already so hard in this world to make friends. It is so hard. People have made it so hard. People have built up freaking walls. Like, these walls are brick and it's just crazy. People are like, nope, I don't want any more friends. And I was that person. And I'm like, guys, we can't do that. We cannot do that. If that person is meant to be your friend, let them be your friend. Put down the wall. Be nice. Be a kind human. Like, lately, I am telling you, I just, I don't even care. I'm making so many friends lately, and I'm so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. Like, there are people that I have been like communicating with. For instance, my old friend Michelle, me and her, we had our ups and downs in high school. We would fight, not fight, fight, not fight, talk about each other, not talk about each other. High school drama bullcrap. And then she moved out of the country or something. And then our lives have been so different. So different. And then recently she was like, hey, I just moved back to Illinois and it's like 4 hours from here. And I'm like, what? Like, it's so crazy because we've always had this, like, we'll talk on the internet, but that's about it. And now it's like, we're planning a trip together. How crazy is that? Like, I want her kids to meet my kids. I want, like, just, that's something, if you would have asked me a year ago, Melinda, do you ever think that maybe you and Michelle would be hanging out? I would be like, I mean, we'll talk on the internet, but I mean, and it's crazy because I've never had anything against her. Never, like, we fought in high school. I don't even know what we fought about. Who knows? But I was going through a lot back then. And I appreciate that she doesn't judge me off of the person I was when we graduated high school, because I'm sure I was just not a good human. But now look at us. We're like planning a trip together and it's just so cool. It is so cool because now I'm like, that's a friendship that we can actually be like, man, we've held tight to that friendship for a very long time. It's just crazy. And I remember, like, I have pictures of me and her going to prom together, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's awesome. If you see a cat in here, I'm sorry. The bunny and the cat are just running in and out. I know. What do you do? Can we not lick? Hey, don't do that, or get down. I'm doing a podcast. Can't lick your butthole in here. With that being said, you guys, I also had to cut a friendship out within the last 4 or 5 months. And I want to kind of touch on that because I think it's important that I tell you why that happens. This person, I enjoyed being around her. I enjoyed her company. I enjoyed her family. But whenever we were together, there were things that kind of just, I don't know about that. It was one of those like, first off, she would make fun of like believers in Jesus Christ. And that's one thing that you just can't mess with around me. Even before I had my spiritual awakening, you just don't do that in front of me, because I've always known there's a God, and I'm never going to mock him. And so when people do that, like, that's so disrespectful. It's like talking about, I mean, that's like just talking crap about my mom. You know what I mean? Like, why would, no, like, I'm not going to let you just talk crap about my mom in front of me. No, get out of here. So that was the big thing. And then just, I would feel this like negativity just every time we were in a room together. And it was always something to bitch about, just always the negative. And I can't do it. I can't do it. I just knew for my mental health, I'm like, I can't be like, oh my gosh. It's like one of those people who don't even ask you, like, how's it going? They just go straight into how shitty their everything is. Because I'm a firm believer that you need to ask somebody, hey, how's it going in your life? And see if they're able to carry what you're about to spill. Because if they're not able to carry what you're about to spill, don't dump it. Do not dump it on them. So many people are like, they're just shitty friends sometimes, and they don't even realize it, because they're like, you won't even believe what me and my husband are going through right now. And then you're like, oh my God, well, you didn't even know about this, and that. And now we both have big pile of mess. And now we're both being negative, and who's going to lift us up? You know, you always have to have that one person. And so just always ask, be like, hey, how's it going? And if they have too much going on, I mean, maybe you should be the ears this time. But it was just always negativity, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore, and I had to separate myself. And that was hard for me. It was really hard for me, but I did it, and I prayed on it and everything, and I was like, is this the right thing? And it was the right thing, and it wasn't anything bad. I just cut it and then just walked the other way. And I didn't give an explanation, because I don't have to do that. And there's been nothing, like no argument, nothing like that. I think she just noticed, and she's a smart girl. I think she realized, oh yeah, maybe we're not good for each other, and that's all right. It's not like we were hanging out all the time or anything like that. We did hang out quite a few times, but nothing like that. So yeah, if you realize in life that there is a friendship that is just not good for you, don't stay in it. Walk away. And it doesn't mean you have this big blow up and walk away. It means be cordial. You just know that's not for you anymore. It's not healthy for your mental health. It's just walk away. Save yourself. Just, and that person should understand. Like, you know what? You're going to find somebody, a friendship that's good for you, but right now I can't hold your shit and my shit. Like, that's a lot of shit. I can't hold it all. So just never be scared to walk away from a friendship, because so many people these days are so scared to walk away. And you don't need to be scared. This is life. You're going to have friends during this season, that season, and the next season, and none of them are going to be the same. Maybe some of them will be, but maybe they may all be different in some seasons. I like to tell people that some friendships are meant to be here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And doesn't make any one of them more meaningless. It's just, we have to realize that not every friendship is meant to last a lifetime. So many people think, and that's where it goes. That's where things hit, because they think that I have to be this person's friend, and then they go through a whole different season than I go through, and then I still have to be their friend, and then I'm going through a whole different thing, and then they're always like, always just going like this, and then always clashing, and they're just scared to put up their arms and say, hey, like, this was fun while it lasted, but they're scared to do that. And then the next thing you know, it ends in a big blow up because they're clashing so much. So just always have that in your mind. A reason, a season, or a lifetime. Okay? So every friend, just look. Be like, hey, are you here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? I have a few that are lifetimers, and I have some that, maybe they're just here for the season. I've had some that were here for a season. And that's life. It's life. And I don't regret them being my friends. They were there when I needed them the most, but hey, can we not take a bath on air? He's bathing himself because, it's appropriate to do as my guest. I've even lately made friends with some of my followers. Like, I've made connections with them. Like, I've been messaging them. We talk. For so long that one just lost her son, and I just sent out a card today for sympathy, a sympathy card. Like, one's birthday is next week, and I just sent out a birthday card today. I'm not kidding. This is like, it's not hard to be a good friend or to make people feel like they mean something to you. You know what I mean? I never used to be that person because I've never had it done to me where I've gotten a card from somebody that I meet on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, we've never met each other in person, but I'm just a different person, I guess, today than I was a year ago, but now I value every friendship I have. It doesn't matter if it's online. It doesn't matter if it's the girl in the scooters drive-through that gives me my coffee and I see her all the time. It doesn't matter if it's somebody in my family that we're just really close. Like, I value every relationship that I have now. So I really just have come to the realization that life is so short, and we're the ones who really decide how big our funerals will be one day. There's somebody who just recently had a funeral and they said like hardly anybody went, and I'm like, in my mind, I feel bad for saying this, but I was like, do you expect anything less? Because she was such a mean person. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I want my funeral to be so big. My celebration of life, I don't really, whatever. I want it to be so big that the whole town feels it, not just two people, not just my family. I want so many people to feel it because I left such an impact on their lives that it's felt in my community. It's felt across the world type thing. You know what I mean? And it's not like me being this famous star. I don't want that. I just want people to look at me and think, she said something one time that changed my life. She inspired me. She was a good friend to me. Anything like that. And it's easy to do. It's these little things that we can do. Just the littlest, simplest things. I ordered these little prayer things. I seen them on TikTok and I was like, oh my God, you can get 5 for $20. And they're these little quilt pieces. You've probably seen them on there. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was thinking of, it was like the same pattern. I'm like watching one of my, the people I follow on TikTok, and she had like a pattern in the background and it looked just like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to send her one of these. Like, I asked her for her address. I said, I promise I'm not a creeper. Just want to send you something that really made me think of you. And I don't know this woman. I watch all her videos. She barely has any followers. I think she has less than 1,000, but I watch her stuff. So I always tell people, never give up. You don't know who's watching your stuff. You don't know. I'm telling you, like, you know who was watching my stuff when I was small? Bethany Frankel. I'm not kidding you. I was like, what? And yeah, she started following me when I had like 40,000 followers. You just don't know. People really, if they feel connected to you, they're going to follow you, whether you have 10 followers or you have 10,000. Like, if they like you, they're going to follow you. You just have to remember to be genuine and be yourself, and they will come. Okay, you guys, that's everything for this episode. I hope that if you take anything away from this episode, it is that you knock down that wall that you have put up saying that you are not going to make any more connections because you don't have enough time. I hope that you say, you know what? I need to take that wall down because I do have time. Whether it's 20 minutes on the phone this weekend or an hour and a half for coffee, or just like my friend just comes over here sometimes and we sit in the backyard and talk. I'm telling you, just connections mean the world to people, and you have enough time. I promise you have enough time. And remember, you guys, you can always be messy, but just remember to be motivated. Life is too precious to sit on the couch and watch The Summer I Turned Pretty the rest of your life. Even though that is a good show. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. I'm never going to learn. I don't even know. I don't know.